Welcome back to Cocoanix 3D printing. In today's video, I want to talk about the types of 3D printing, because despite most people think 3D printing isn't just FDM. If you've only ever used a desktop printer, you'd think that's the whole story. But FDM is really just the tip of the iceberg. There is a whole world of industrial 3D printing technologies out there. Machines that cost anywhere from $10,000 to $500,000, using lasers, resin, and even metal powder to build parts in a ways that will blow your mind. So today I want to walk you through the most popular 3D printing technologies, the one you'd actually run into the real world, and the ones available to order on PCBWay's website. And to make this actually interesting, instead of just me talking to stock images, I ordered the same model, the classic 3D benchy, in almost every one of these 3D printing technologies, so you can see side by side exactly how different these processes really are. Let's get into it. First up, the one that you already know, FDM, or Fused Deposition Modeling. This is the desktop printing you're probably familiar with. A nozzle heats up plastic filament, extrudes it layer by layer to build your part from the bottom up. I printed this benchy myself in standard PLA on my own printer, and this is the one that most people already know, because it's the technology behind almost every consumer 3D printer out there. It's cheap, it's forgiving, and the barrier to entry is basically zero. You can get a decent printer for a couple $100. Now, FDM isn't actually the only technology on this list you can buy for yourself either. As you see in a minute, resin printers are also widely available to hobbyists these days, some for under $200. But FDM is still the one most people think of first, and the one most people's first printer actually is. The trade-off with FDM is layer lines. Even on a well-tuned printer, you can see and feel individual layers, especially on curved surfaces like the hull of this benchy. Strength is also directional. Parts are strong along the layer lines and weaker between them. It's the technology most people think is 3D printing, but you're about to see is really just one branch of much bigger tree. Next up, SLA, or Stereolithography. This is actually the original 3D printing technology. It was patented all the way back in 1986, before FDM even existed. Instead of melting plastic, SLA uses UV laser to cure liquid photopolymer resin one layer at a time inside a vat. The layer traces out a shape of each layer directly onto the resin's surface, hardening it, and then the build platform moves and the next layer gets cured on top. I ordered this benchy from PCBWay in standard white resin, and honestly the difference is night and day compared to FDM one. Look at how smooth the hull is. There's barely any visible layer lines, and the detail of this small stuff like the portholes or the railings is incredibly crisp. SLA is fantastic for anything that needs fine detail or smooth surface finish. Think jewelry, miniatures, or dental model. The downside is that raw SLA parts, especially in standard resin, tend to be more brittle than FDM plastic, and they need to be washed and post-cured under UV light after each print to reach full strength. But if you need precision and surface quality over rough toughness, SLA is hard to beat. Today's video sponsor is PCBWay. If you build things, PCBWay is worth knowing about. They do PCB fabrication, CNC machining, 3D printing, and sheet metal all under one roof, with fast turnaround time and competitive pricing. And if you're new to this and not sure what to order, PCBWay has a shared project section where the community posts open source designs that you can order directly. It's a great way to get your first part made without needing to design anything from scratch. I've used them for my own projects and the quality was amazing. If you're a new user, you will also get a $5 discount on your first order. Make sure to check them out. Links in the description. Now let's get back to the video. Now we're moving into industrial territory. This is SLS, Selective Laser Sintering, and this is where things start to look completely different from anything we've covered so far. SLS doesn't use a vat of liquid or spool of filament. Instead, it uses a bed of fine powder, in this case nylon PA12, and laser selectively fuses on sinters the powder together layer by layer. Once the layer is fused, a new layer of powder is spread on top and the process repeats. Here's the wild part. Because the part is solely surrounded and supported by unfused powder the entire time it's printing, SLS doesn't need any support structures. That means you can nest multiple parts on top of each other in the same print, and it can produce complex geometry, overhangs, hollow sections, interlocking parts that would be nearly impossible with FDM or resin printing. Feel the surface of this nylon benchy. It's got slightly grainy matte texture from the powder, but the part itself is strong, flexible, and durable. This is the technology used in a lot of functional prototypes and even end-use parts, things like brackets, housing, and mechanical components that actually need to hold up under stress. Next is MJF, multi-jet fusion, which is HP's take on powder bed printing, and it's often compared directly to SLS because the results can look and feel pretty similar. Like SLS, MJF starts with a bed of nylon powder, and instead of laser, MJF uses inkjet style print heads to spray the fusing agent onto the areas that needs to become solid, along with a detailing agent around the edges for sharper resolution. Then an infrared lamp passes over the entire bed and fuses everything at once, layer by layer. I ordered mine in HP's PA12 in dark black, and you can immediately see the difference. This thing is solid straight out of the machine, and the surface is noticeably smoother and more consistent than the SLS part. Because MJF fuses an entire layer simultaneously with the fusing agent rather than tracing point by point with a laser, it also tends to be significantly faster for production runs, which is a part of why companies like HP have pushed it so hard for manufacturing applications. Mechanically, MJF and SLS parts are both strong nylon parts, and honestly for a lot of applications they're interchangeable, but MJF often wins on surface quality and consistency, especially for colored parts. Actually, really quick before I go further, only 1% of the people watching my videos are actually subscribed. So if you're watching this and you're not subscribed and you're enjoying the content, just hit the subscribe button. It's free, it takes half a second, and it means YouTube actually shows you the next videos. Okay, back to it. And finally, the one that probably surprises people the most, SLM, Selective Laser Melting. This is metal 3D printing. The process looks similar to SLS on paper. A laser selectively fuses a bed of powder layer by layer, but instead of plastic powder, SLM uses metal powder, and instead of sintering it, the laser fully melts it. I ordered mine in aluminum, which is genuinely a metal part. Same aluminum you'll find in a machined aircraft component. Pick this one up and you feel the difference immediately. It's heavy, it's cold to the touch, it's metal. Unlike the powder technologies before it, SLM does typically need support structures, because if you're dealing with liquid metal, that would need to be anchored down as it melts, solidifies, otherwise it warps under intense heat. Those supports get machined or cut off afterwards. This is genuinely industrial grade manufacturing, used for things like aerospace brackets, medical implants, and tooling, where you need real metal parts with complex geometry that would be difficult or impossible to machine conventionally. It's also unsurprisingly the most expensive process on this entire list by a wide margin. So, let's quickly recap all 5 of these side by side. FDM, melted plastic filament, cheap, accessible, visible layer lines, the one that I printed myself. SLA, liquid resin cured by light, either laser or projector, incredibly smooth and detailed but more brittle. SLS and MJF, nylon powder fused together by a laser or inkjet heads and infrared light, strong functional parts, no supports needed, great for complex geometry. And SLM, metal powder fully melted by a laser, real functional metal parts, the most industrial and most expensive of them all. 5 completely different processes, 5 physical benches in hand. And honestly, holding them all side by side really puts into perspective just how much more there is to 3D printing than most people picture. Found this useful? Drop a like, subscribe if you're new, and let me know in the comments which of these are you planning to try first. I will see you in the next one.